Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for September 16th, 2020. We've seen some stuff at the parks in the past few months, but nothing tops the scene at Disney's Hollywood Studios where a man was escorted out of the park for not wearing a mask. As security removed him from the park, he screamed misquotes from Pixar's A Bug's Life. You can see the video captured by our very own Pete Carney. The man is being escorted by at least 3 uniformed security officers and more plainclothes officers in the Grand Avenue area of the park. He's yelling at watching guests, trying to convince them to join him. Near the end of the video, he distinctly yells, "Remember the movie that came out at Walt Disney World? It was called A Bug's Life. Remember Hopper? He said if one guy stands up, one ant stands up," in a failed attempt to stir a rebellion of sorts against face masks. He is referencing 2 different scenes in A Bug's Life. The first is when Hopper, the film's villain, talks about Flick trying to stand up to him. He states, "You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up." This is what happens at the end of the film when the ants realize that there are more of them than there are of the grasshoppers. And as Flick say, "Ants don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who needs us. We're a lot stronger than you say we are." Witnesses say the man also yelled, "I'm not crazy. I have a wife and 2 kids." Yeah, this was a thing. Masks, of course, are required at Walt Disney World and most public places right now due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's an airborne disease, and wearing masks drastically mitigates the spread of sometimes deadly virus, protecting not only the wearer, but also the rest of the population. Face mask requirements in Orange County, Florida could last through the spring of 2021 or until a vaccine is available. Guests refusing to wear masks could endanger other guests and cast members and lead to the theme parks being closed once more. And also, it's a park rule. Just like any other one, you could be thrown out for it. Both Disney's Animal Kingdom and Epcot will be seeing extended hours on Saturday, September 26th. At Animal Kingdom, while normally the park hours are 9 to 5, Saturday, September 26th, will see a 6 p.m. closure. Epcot will also be closing an hour later at 8 p.m. that day. For the start of the holiday season, of course, the Magic Kingdom will be open an extra hour in the evening starting November 6th, and Epcot will be moving from a noon to 8 operating schedule starting in late November. Hours in December have yet to be released. Halloween has arrived at the Magic Kingdom, or at least this year's version of it. While September 15th marked the grand debut of Halloween decorations at the park, fall wreaths and garland adorn the park with the iconic Mickey jack-o'-lantern wreaths along the lampposts on Main Street, USA. Nevertheless, these beloved pumpkins are always the first sign of fall, and we're delighted to see them back up against the odds of the ongoing pandemic. From outside the park, it's worth noting that the Mickey floral has not been updated with pumpkins as it usually is. And a lot of the bunting and other stuff, other decor around the land, not been put up as well. However, during the opening time of the park and closing moments, Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald, and Daisy can all be seen in their Halloween costumes waving from the Main Street train station, along with friends from the Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and other special guests from the Boo to You parade that typically takes place during the Halloween party. Cast members in the shops on Main Street don the adorable Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party costumes as well. And you'll notice that the pumpkin citizens of Main Street figures aren't up yet and maybe won't be coming at all. Meanwhile, Winnie the Pooh and friends take their socially distanced trolley ride decked out in fall decor and dressed in some adorable costumes. Chip and Dale, meanwhile, are making their way around Frontierland dressed up for Halloween, but they weren't riding parade floats like the rest of Mickey and friends. They're riding their own raft around Tom Sawyer Island. As well as several new Halloween-themed character cavalcades have debuted in the park. First up, the Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween processional features Jack and Sally waving, followed by Oogie Boogie. This is pretty cool. And of course, they come down the path to the tune of This Is Halloween from the film. Next, we have the Disney Villains character cavalcade featuring Gaston, the Queen of Hearts, Captain Hook, and the Bowler Hat Guy leading the way for Maleficent and Jafar riding on the parade float. The Evil Queen with the Magic Mirror is also on the back of the float. And finally, we have the Fab Five making their way down the parade route, led by Sugar Rush Racers, Haunted Mansion Butlers, and Pirates. You can check out the full experience of all these cavalcades right here on our YouTube channel. Tron Light Cycle Run has reached an important milestone at the Magic Kingdom as the first large piece of illuminated canopy has been installed on site. We saw this piece lowered down onto the supports in real time during our WDWNT live stream from the Magic Kingdom yesterday. The illuminated canopy will cover the outside portion of the roller coaster's track, and now that this piece has been lowered, all that's left is to center it into place and bolt it down. Over by the side, we see where more pieces of canopy are being put together and staged for future installation. Tron Light Cycle Run has a announced opening date of 2021 for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, but that is barring any delays. We don't know if that's still necessarily correct. New cotton candy has arrived at the Magic Kingdom for the Halloween season. This unique cotton candy is Halloween colored with grape and orange flavoring. We like the grape flavor a bit more than the orange. It tastes like, those old-timey sugary grape candies, those hard sugary candies. It's not overly sweet, has the right amount of tartness. Unfortunately, the orange, probably a little too sweet, but kids love cotton candy, probably going to love this. It costs $5, available as various popcorn carts and such throughout the Magic Kingdom. The Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover, a favorite attraction of the park, was officially moved to the refurbishment list back in August, and at the time, the refurbishment calendar only listed the attraction as closed through Halloween, but now the refurbishment is going to last a bit longer, with the new end date listed as November 28th, previously November 21st. Prior to the Magic Kingdom's official reopening, the attraction didn't operate during cast member and pass holder previews. It also had some problems during the last operating days in March. It closed a week ahead of the temporary shutdown of all the parks. The attraction was then moved to the temporarily unavailable status on July 28th before officially going on refurbishment as of August 8th. Work continues adjacent to Casey's Corner at the Magic Kingdom, where a widened pathway and seating expansion are underway as part of 50th anniversary preparations at the park. We recently took a look at construction in the area, with some areas now finished, and new columns and fencing up throughout. You'll notice that the exterior seating adjacent to Casey's Corner has been expanded somewhat to allow for more seating and spacing between tables. Typically, this area was prone to congestion even before COVID-19. The pathway that leads to First Aid and the Baby Care Center has been slightly widened as well. This walkway actually leads out to a bypass that mirrors the one on the opposite side of Main Street, where they built a more permanent guest bypass. But given expected crowds for the 50th anniversary, Disney planned to regularly use this bypass as well, even though it goes through what is mostly an undecorated backstage area. Usually this is used during the holiday season, really busy times with fireworks or parades and such. They'll shoot guests out this side and down towards town square. But it looks like they're looking to have another bypass ready in case those crowds do return by Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary and a new nighttime spectacular. The force is strong at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge as cast members of the Resistance rise up against the First Order, and no place on Batuu is more connected to the Force than Savi's workshop, hand-built lightsabers. Starting on September 20th, guests will once again be able to build their own lightsaber, and reservations are now available. The shop's capacity will be reduced in order to follow distancing guidelines. It's highly recommended that you make a reservation ahead of your arrival. At the workshop, Padawans are guided in a key step in their Jedi training, building their own lightsaber. Using materials from across the galaxy and the power of a kyber crystal, Padawans construct their lightsaber based on one of four key themes: peace and justice, power and control, elemental nature, and protection and defense. We'll be there on September 20th. We have a reservation, and we'll show you how that whole experience goes that day, so stay tuned. In a strange last-minute park hour change, Disney's Animal Kingdom will be open for an extra hour on Sunday, September 20th. While normally park hours are 9 to 5, September 20th will see a 6 p.m. closure due to expected crowds that day. Disney Vacation Club members will now be joining annual pass holders and Florida residents with deep discounts on Walt Disney World merchandise. Starting now through October 29th, DVC members can save 30% on most Disney-owned and operated stores. You must show your DVC membership card and photo ID for the discount. You can read all about the limitations and exclusions on our website. The theme building that popped up over a month ago at Kilimanjaro Safaris at Animal Kingdom seems to be near completion. Several theming elements have been added since we last checked on the structure. Decorative rocks have been set up in front of the walls to the side of the building. The building itself has been painted blue with some green accents that make it look weathered. Some work remains to be done, as orange construction markers are still visible on the building and wall. Construction equipment or maybe some more themed items are piled to the side of the building for now. Tuffy the Disney Bear's newest friend, Olu Mel, is taking over Disney's Polynesian Village Resort with new merchandise and treats. We had to get the new Olu Mel cupcake and custom Dole Whip soft serve treat at the resort. The cupcake has a wonderful presentation. The chocolate seashell and hidden Mickeys were nice touches that made for a beautiful cupcake. The soft serve is lime Dole Whip with a white chocolate Olumel, crispy pearls, and it's garnished with flowers and glitter. To read our full review of the cupcake and the Dole Whip, head on over to our site. Meanwhile, Olumel merchandise can be found over at Boutique at the resort, and we have pictures and prices of every item as well on our website. They'll be available until Aulani reopens in Hawaii. Dockside Margaritas closed back in late June due to the suspension of all on-premises consumption of alcohol at bars statewide in the state of Florida to curb the spike in COVID-19 at the time. Now that the pandemic numbers are thankfully leveling out, restrictions are being lifted, and as of September 14th, bars were given the green light to reopen at 50% capacity. At Disney Springs, the popular margarita stand reopened with some modifications. New physical distancing markers are set up leading to the ordering windows, which are now outfitted with plexiglass barriers. The menu remains the same for now, with a wide variety of margaritas, both classic and frozen, plus additional cocktails. Live music has been discontinued for the time being, but guests are still welcome to take a seat and enjoy the sights and sounds of Disney Springs. Amidst cancellation rumors of Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge at Walt Disney World, a new permit was just filed listing the location of the construction site, 4500 Big Pine Road. The contractor listed is Colwill Engineering, a firm based out of Orlando and Tampa. The permit lists general construction as the work description. However, it's unknown what exact work is being done and whether plans for the resort are back on. With project cancellation rumors circulating regarding DVC's planned Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge, recent updates showed changes to the old Disney Parks blog post from August 2019, outlining all of the announcement made at last year's D23 Expo. Noticeably, the announcement for Reflections had been removed from the post, with changes likely made during the first week of August. Disney has been known to quietly change announcement posts like these in the case of canceled, altered, or delayed projects, as was the case with the Main Street Theater at the Magic Kingdom. The much-anticipated reopening of the Disney Character Warehouse at the Orlando Premium Outlets Vineland has finally arrived. We've been keeping our eye on this location, and while reopening preparations were delayed, it seems the store was finally able to reopen. Crowds flocked to the now open store, with guests waiting along some nearby seating. The outlet store has a virtual wait list in place where you can check in with a cast member upon arrival and then wait to receive a text message to return. Current wait times for the store are anywhere from 60 to 75 minutes. And as with at the parks, face coverings are required and must have ear loops and cover the nose, mouth, and chin. Neck gaiters, bandanas, and face coverings with valves are not permitted in the store. Social distancing markers are in place for guests lining up once their return time has been called. The social distancing markers span all the way out to the adjacent Under Armour store next door, and a dedicated entrance and exit is in place to control guest flow. With preparations well underway at both Disneyland Park and California Adventure, the resort is ready to welcome back guests as soon as the government will allow it. Just this past Friday, indoor seating resumed at Downtown Disney, but there's still no word on when or how Disneyland's theme parks can reopen. Now, trade organizations representing Disney and other neighboring theme parks are putting pressure on the governor to allow these venues to reopen after a 6-month hiatus. According to the Orange County Register, California Attractions and Park Association issued the following statement, quote, California's amusement parks urge the governor to issue amusement park guidelines expeditiously so these vital community attractions can reopen their doors in a responsible manner and get residents back to work. CAPA represents Disneyland, Universal Studios Hollywood, and a number of other nearby theme parks. The organization has reportedly been working closely with the government on reopening plans for theme parks and insists that the theme parks are ready to reopen in a manner that is safe and responsible. Quote, as evidenced by the many open amusement parks in the United States and around the world, visiting an attraction will not look the same as before COVID, but California's amusement parks are ready to responsibly reopen. Governor Newsom recently stated that the progress was still being made on reopening plans for Disneyland Resort and other theme parks. Quote, we're still working on some details. As soon as we're ready at a point where we can make that public, we will. The Orange County Register reports that Anaheim is urging Governor Gavin Newsom to allow Disneyland and California Adventure to reopen soon. Naturally, the city wants the governor to provide the park's health and safety guidelines so that they can open safely, but Anaheim officials are concerned that waiting too long may make their economic recovery more difficult. To date, Anaheim has calculated losses of $100 million since the shutdown in March due to uncollected revenues from the parks and nearby businesses that benefit from their operation. The city has reported that these businesses make a substantial contribution to its general budget. Therefore, the city has joined others like California Attractions and Parks Association in calling on the governor to reopen the parks. Anaheim spokesperson Mike Lister commented, "What we need is guidance and an economic recovery roadmap so we know that we won't go from coronavirus to a second Great Recession." The other sectors of California's economy appear to remain open under Gavin Newsom's blueprint for a safer economy. Amusement parks like Disneyland and Universal have not been cleared to reopen just yet, but beaches, restaurants, and other businesses are operating with restrictions in place. There may not be a set reopening date for those parks, but new tape markings and directional signage inside of Disneyland have us speculating its reopening is near. Although hand washing stations were available early last week, hand sanitizing stations are now in place beyond the park's gates. As of now, there isn't any confirmation about California Adventure reopening either, but however, the downtown Disney district reopened in July, and the last few days, many restaurants are now allowing indoor seating. Attendants are keeping track of capacity and holding traffic when necessary, and parking for downtown Disney is only available at the Simba parking lot, which is free when you get your ticket validated with a purchase. We've noticed directional signs, hand washing stations, and more being set up at the entrances to both parks. It also seems that Disney is setting up the Tram Route to be a walkway for guests entering. There are no initial signs of this setup at downtown Disney District Station, but if the Tram Route is open for walking, that means trams will not be running. Benches and trash cans have been set up further along the route. We also spotted a sign that reads, quote, "Reservation required for entry into theme parks." This confirms that Disneyland Resort, like Walt Disney World, will have a park reservation system to better control crowds. It'll likely be similar to the Disney Park Pass system, if not exactly the same. Wonderground Gallery, a fan favorite art shop at downtown Disney, has apparently gotten the Star Wars treatment as the new Star Wars trading post has taken over, filling the retail location with once exclusive merchandise from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. The exterior of the location now sports a rustic look, sure, with worn rags draped over the old sign and a barrel with a sign announcing the new store's name. Nearly everything is made to look like cargo shipped out from Batu over to downtown Disney. Cast members inside play along to remain in story as if the trading post has been a long-time outpost of Star Wars merchandise. Inside, cargo crates and barrels are stacked full of Galaxy's Edge merchandise, including Jedi robes and even plush from the creature stall. Throughout the store, you can virtually find every item sold in the land, from holocrons to porgs of all sizes. There's no need to haggle with Doc Ondar in this one. Legacy lightsabers are also on display and available for viewing within a glass case. Most lightsaber styles are available. We inquired about the new Ahsoka Tano lightsabers, but they still have yet to arrive. Signage acknowledges that the items are in fact shipments from Galaxy's Edge. And with Disneyland Park still shuttered due to the pandemic, no way for guests to access Galaxy's Edge, the resort decided it was time to bring this merchandise for everyone to enjoy. Obviously, we will miss the Wonderground Gallery. It was a wonderful place for all sorts of unique and really interesting art and merchandise. So hopefully this is temporary. I hope Wonderground will be back, but it's probably good to sell some Galaxy's Edge stuff to people who really want it. According to the DLP report on Twitter, unions and cast members have been briefed on new operating hours for Disneyland Paris. Disneyland Park will be operating from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the week. On Sundays, it'll be open until 7 p.m. and on Saturdays and school holidays, open until 8. Walt Disney Studios Park will now only be open from 11 to 4 on most days and 9:30 to 6 on school holidays. Disney Village shops and restaurants will be open from 5 to 10 p.m., except for Annette's, which will be open for weekend lunch. These changes will reportedly go into effect on October 4th. The news comes just after the last change in operating hours went into effect, reducing park hours at both parks from 10 to 6 as of September 14th. Tokyo Disney Resort is getting some new sparkly headbands, adding a sparkle to a few beloved characters starting September 16th. All of these will be available across the resort for 1,700 yen or $16 US roughly. Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., Zootopia, and the Aristocats are all represented. So now there's even more choices to represent your favorite Disney film on your next trip to the Tokyo Disney Resort. Again, these headbands are available beginning September 16th at Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea, so be sure to keep your eyes open for them on your next visit. Tokyo Disneyland has introduced a special version of the Mickey and Friends Greeting Parade themed to the tragically cut short Very, Very Mini event earlier this year. Naturally, since we're huge fans of it before the pandemic, we had to check it out, what it was all about. The greeting features both the unique outfits from the event, but also the ridiculously catchy It's Very Mini theme song. You can find a video of the short greeting right here on our YouTube channel. It's only rolling down the parade route September 14th through the 30th, so you have to hurry if you can actually get into Japan to see this. Calling all foolish mortals, summon a good time with this new Haunted Mansion Windbreaker. Arriving at the Emporium on Main Street at the Magic Kingdom, this Aqua Windbreaker is available to guests for $49.99. Front of the jacket showcases Madame Leota with the quote, "Summoning a good time." The back of the Windbreaker sports some Haunted Mansion-inspired quotes. The season of falling leaves, pumpkins, and haunts has arrived at the Disneyland Resort, and this Mickey Mouse jack-o'-lantern ear headband is the perfect way to show your excitement for this time of year. The ears are leather grain, and the pumpkins are padded. Now available at the World of Disney at Downtown Disney District, this ear headband can be yours for $29.99. Can now add Disney-themed sponges to your kitchen with the latest Mousewares collection items. The sponges look like your favorite Walt Disney World icons, including Cinderella Castle, a Mickey balloon, the monorail, and a teacup. We saw similar sponges at Disneyland earlier this week. Each sponge costs $6.99 each. Found them at the Emporium. Silly Spook may sit by your side with the new Haunted Mansion-themed Minnie Mouse, the main attraction collection. The collection features a plush, fanny pack, mug, pin set, and of course, a new pair of ears. The collection will be available on Shop Disney this October. No exact date available just yet. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, The Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next magical Disney trip. The best part is that their services are free. Hotel, park tickets, dining, and more. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. The Vacationeer, the official travel agency of WDWNT. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to select all notifications so you never miss an episode. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Says it right here.
Looking for the latest in Disney news on the go? Then download WDWNT, the app. From news to videos to park hours and more, WDWNT the app is your one-stop shop for the latest from the Disney world. Available on iPhone and Android, just search for WDWNT in your device's app store.